Welcome everyone back to Weekly Weather Updates, and today we're going to have a look at the latest on Storm Darcy and the sort of beast from the east pattern we're seeing at the moment. Now, we did have a bit of trouble overnight with this snow. There was a lot of people saying it's not going to come off simply because it was a bit delayed. The colder air did not get through to the south really until about 4, 5, 6 a.m. this morning. So actually some of this initially started off as rain, especially further east towards Kent. But I can now say that it is comfortably falling completely as snow. You can see where the heaviest banding is, and this is why we got the amber warning in force, and we'll look exactly the position of the amber warning in a minute, and you can see why they've put it in force. Sort of northern Kent, Maidstone, Canterbury, you already have maybe 5 centimetres plus. Elsewhere, it's difficult because the ground is still just above freezing. The air temperature is below freezing in most places right now. The dew points are well below freezing, but the ground temperature is still above freezing. So where I am right now, I actually have quite a decent amount of sort of dandruff, sort of snow falling. So it's not very heavy snow. I'm just here north of London, so I'm in this sort of light snow, but you suspect that it would accumulate, but unfortunately at the moment it really isn't. There's a little bit on the grass, on a few elevated surfaces, but there's not too much at the moment. And if you're in a similar situation, you shouldn't be worried. This snow is going to be around for the next 24 to 36 hours, especially further west as well. So don't be worried if you haven't got heavy snow at the moment and it's not sticking. You'll still have a decent opportunity to get some snow, maybe build a snowman, etc. But definitely does look like where the Met Office issued the amber warning, it's looking like that is where we're definitely going to see the heaviest snow. It does look like this evening, this evening, that the heavier bands are going to move further westwards, maybe perhaps to parts of west of London, Slough, Reading may see some more snow, but this is the westmost end of it at the moment, and it does look like it will turn gradually heavier overnight. However, it will fragment a little bit more into heavier bands as more convection takes over from this frontal system. So yeah, it's going to be difficult forecasting snow amounts this afternoon, but it's looking encouraging. The reason why the colder air was delayed this morning was because the system's a bit further north and a bit further west than initially thought. Only by maybe about 50 miles, but that delayed the colder air getting through by a couple hours. So that's why it fell as rain, but then that's more encouraging for perhaps further inland areas of East Anglia, London area. London's looking more interesting for snow. Initially it was only maybe a couple centimetres, but perhaps we could be seeing 5 to 10 centimetres if we get good enough banding together. So yeah, very interesting with that indeed. So yeah, be interesting watch. Now, one encouraging sign we are seeing with this sort of beast from the east pattern is the convection already going along for northern England, northeast England, Yorkshire, into Scotland. Some very heavy snow showers. I haven't seen many reports coming from these areas, so I can't tell you if it's accumulating widely or whether the radar is overestimating it a little bit. But you can see it is getting quite far inland, and even Lancaster's getting some snow showers. So very heavy snow showers packing in, similar to the sort we saw with the beast from the east in 2018. It's northern Scotland getting a lot of snow as well, and I suspect these will move further inland. Western areas, southwestern areas, at the moment don't have a lot of snow, but it's still, we're pulling in sort of a northeasterly wind. As the wind turns more easterly this evening, I suspect southwestern areas could see some more snow, and these will drift further inland, and that's why this snow will potentially move a bit further inland. Perhaps Oxford may see the western extent of this, but again, it's difficult to forecast at the moment, as it is changing, and it will become largely convection based towards this evening, which is a lot more difficult to forecast. If we now have a look at the snow totals that have fallen, again, this is not accumulated, this is what's fallen out the sky, or appreciable snow that's fallen out of the sky. You can see we have seen, as I said yesterday, where that ice warning was, we did see a bit of snow around, especially for West Midlands, maybe southwestern areas over higher ground. Then northern England saw a bit of snow up towards Scotland as well, and that's where they're getting peppered by snow showers at the moment. As you can see at the moment in the southeast East Anglia, it's really where that amber warning is. That's where you're seeing potentially a few centimetres of snow, 5 centimetres plus of snow already, and then elsewhere it's diminishing quite a lot to where I am, where we have very minimal amounts of snow on the ground, but I suspect that may change throughout the day. So yeah, I suspect within this area that's already got snow, you will likely see some decent accumulations if you haven't already. I'm not going to guarantee you're going to have 5-10 centimetres, but it's looking like you'll at least have a dusting of snow as it cools down the temperature throughout today. By this evening, as the sun sets, or around 5 o'clock, and the temperature will be below freezing by that time, I suspect any snow will readily begin to settle, as the ground is, with every single snowflake coming out of the sky, the ground and hitting the ground is cooling down. So yeah, it will start to readily settle throughout the day and freeze. So don't be too discouraged at the moment. So this is the current Met Office warning. You can see they've pretty much got it bang on, I suspect, with the amber warning. Perhaps, again, I did say yesterday, the northern extent of the amber warning is looking a bit sketchy at the moment. Not seeing particularly heavy snow around the sort of Norwich area. But generally, the bullseye at the moment looks between Maidstone and Canterbury, sort of south end, that sort of region is looking where we got the most snow at the moment. It could move. I suspect it will move slightly, but that's the area where we could be seeing some decent snow, or heavy snow for the next sort of 12 to 24 hours, and you could be seeing 20-30 centimetres plus. Elsewhere in the amber zone, I'm expecting around 5 to 10 centimetres widely. Looking at the radar, it's looking quite likely. Yellow zone, it's difficult to tell at the moment. As I said, it could get as far west as Oxford, maybe. I suspect London areas could do quite well, especially this afternoon, this evening, as those bands start to move further westwards. So yeah, so looking very, very interesting indeed. And as we head through Monday, we've still got an amber warning in force for the same sort of snow. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, still snow showers packing in. And I suspect as it comes clearer throughout today, I suspect the Met Office might start to issue more warnings with regard to that. We'll now have a look at the Met Office forecast for the rest of today into tomorrow. This is just their Met Office model on their website, and you can all widely see this. I just wanted to show this instead of computer models, as they are about 6 hours behind, 3 to 6 hours behind at the moment. So it's not particularly good for sort of nowcasting. But this is regularly updated by the Met Office and uses their latest model. Again, it could still be wrong, but it is showing generally what we're seeing at the moment. Heavier snow towards, if we move back up, heavier snow generally towards northern Kent into East Anglia. If we move through to around 11 o'clock, you can start to see it does fragment a little bit and become more convection-based banding. I suspect, even though those gaps are, there'll still be a bit of snow, and you can start to see the potential for banding moving into London area. By midday, still snow around. Again, I wouldn't take this too literally, but you can generally see the energy is shifting further westwards. You start to see banding move towards London. And then perhaps some heavier banding as well through the central London area. And then getting perhaps to parts of west of London. So where we do see that banding, there's a decent chance you'll start to see readily accumulations, because that's really what you need at the moment. You need heavy snow to overcome that sort of snow boundary we have at the moment, because the ground is simply just a little bit too mild. As we head through this evening, if we head towards 6 o'clock this evening, as the banding has moved further inland, it's starting to peter out a little bit, but still heavier banding around. And throughout this evening, we maintain snow showers coming in from more of an easterly direction, continually moving in and even becoming further westwards, and you can start to see some very heavy snow showers moving overnight tonight. And I'd suspect you start to see quite a decent amount of accumulations, sort of the London area northwards, on top of the potential snow we see today, overnight tomorrow into early tomorrow morning. Again, it will be hit and miss where you see the heaviest of snow, but I suspect most areas within this yellow warning at the moment will likely see some decent snow, i.e. accumulations. If we head through 9 o'clock on Monday, you can see even up towards most of the country, convection moving in and getting quite far westwards, even parts of southwest potentially seeing convection. And again, it's probably underdoing it a little bit. in terms of the exact pattern. As you can see by the radar, you can see there's a lot more, like it's much more condensed, the showers, and not particularly spread out as this. But you can see perhaps in the southeast it's lighter but more widespread. And as we head through, again, it's quite uncertain at the moment, as we head through to 3 o'clock Monday, you can see easterly winds bringing in those showers, and then all these showers getting quite far westwards and even getting into parts of Ireland, Wales, and then even parts of southwest. Maybe you can see some snow kind of starting to come in. So yeah, very interesting addition to this, and I'd advise you to just keep up to date with sort of the radar, because most of the apps and the forecasts, even like sort of the BBC weather forecasts, are looking at computer models less than what's actually happening. So I suspect, for example, a BBC weather forecast you see today at lunchtime will be based off the 6 o'clock or midnight computer model run, ECMWF run, for example, which may be lagging behind what's actually happening in real life. I.e., in real life, it's pivoted a bit, or it's moved 50 miles, and you could be seeing heavier snow, while the BBC weather forecast you lighter snow or no snow at all. So that's why I suspect you should just look at the radar. Apps will eventually update and catch on to things, but they normally do it quite late. So yeah, the best thing you've got to do is just continue looking at radar. And again, just looking outside your window is probably one of the best forecasts at this moment. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe and I'll see you again for another video soon.